Hello and welcome to the OSNAP podcast, hosted by us, a duo. For anyone new here, my name is Vincent.
And my name is Reese, and today we are going to talk about photographer horror stories.
Dun dun dun!
My favorite.
Before we get into it, we want to express that there are more good stories than there are bad stories about us photographer and videographers.
Absolutely. Before we get into the stories, I would really just like to touch on the shoots that we had this weekend. Because I think it's important to talk about. We had one session this weekend. It was all the way in LA, and it was a referral by one of our wedding clients.
Yeah, it was a sister of one of our wedding clients.
And this client, she lives in Sacramento. She was coming down here for business. And if it wasn't for us shooting that Sacramento wedding, she would have never found us.
Yeah.
And would have had to search really hard for a photographer for that.
Yep.
So that is just a little bit of the importance of, I think we talked about it last week, the ethics one.
Yeah.
Of giving your clients a good experience and they'll return or bring others to you. And then we had another session this week, a 4-year-old birthday session.
Whoop whoop! We've captured her 4 years in a row.
Yes, we got to capture her first birthday shoot. Lots of little Christmas and holiday shoots in between. But we got to do her 4th birthday session this weekend, and that is just so exciting. Really shows also giving good experiences, and they will come back.
They will always come back. So always be nice to your clients. Always give them your 100, and they will come back.
Amen.
So today, we're going to go over some stories that maybe the client will not go back to that specific photographer.
And these are not our stories.
Oh.
But we're excited to get into it. Would you like to read the first one, or would you like me to?
Yes, I will go ahead and read it. All right, story number 1. Our wedding photographer showed up an hour and a half late to our wedding, missed my dad's first look, never apologized, and then brought a hat she made me to wear so it would match her portfolio. She was so disengaged and made us feel so unimportant and didn't really care about who we were. She just wanted a pretty, perfectly posed shot for Insta.
Yikes. Where do we start?
Well, I got a question. Will we bring a Snap Duo hat to our client's wedding for marketing?
Can you imagine the time and effort that is put into perfecting the bride's hair and makeup?
Yeah.
For us to slap a
$5 hat
business hat on them we're not there for us.
For a picture.
Our job for weddings is to almost feel like we're not there.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
I think that's foolish. I couldn't even imagine. Now, maybe we would bring a hat for us. We've had instances where the wind was absolutely crazy, or like the hairspray didn't hold up as well as I thought it was going to, even though I put extra in it. And so by halfway through the day, it just happened at one of our weddings in December, my hair had completely fallen and it was getting in my face. I didn't wear a hat though for that one, but we had one in Sacramento where I did have to put a hat on because it got extremely windy and my hair was all on my face and I couldn't shoot properly.
This is very much a Vincent problem.
Yeah. So, I mean, for the photographer or videographer to wear a hat, maybe toward the end of the day, maybe that's okay because, they have to be able to see what they're doing. But to bring a hat and have your client put it on after they got their hair professionally done, I don't know. I don't understand it. It doesn't really make any sense to me.
No. And I would also like to add, we do shoot for our social media and things like that, day of wedding, but you will never, ever, ever know that we're doing it.
No.
They never know. We've had so many clients where we post, because we like to, the night of the wedding when we get home and get everything situated, we like to post our behind the scenes. But it's for our bride and groom more than anything.
Yeah.
And they're always, always shocked that we got these little video snippets or whatnot.
We're very discreet about it.
Yeah.
We have, so the stabilizer, I connect my phone to the side of the stabilizer. So I literally hold the stabilizer like this, and the phone is right here. So if there's a beautiful moment, it's already recording on the camera, but I'll just press record on my phone and I'll be able to get those nice behind the scenes. And we've gotten a lot of amazing behind the scenes because of that. But we're able to do it very discreetly. Like I will never, unless, we're on break or something, but I will never in the middle of filming the bride or the groom, pull my phone out and go like this. Ever.
I couldn't imagine.
It's not appropriate. It's not about you.
So we also get things for our, our Instagram or TikTok and things like that. But I would say most importantly, it's about the bride and groom. And this is just a little insane to me. Missing her dad's first look, unforgivable.
That's crazy.
Unforgivable. As a photographer, I couldn't imagine us missing any big part of the day.
Who shows up an hour and a half late?
I'm stressed out if we're 30 minutes early. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we like to get there.
We like to get there with plenty of time
beforehand, so that we have time to set up and everything. So by the time that it is our scheduled time to start, we're ready.
Yeah. As a photographer, I can't imagine missing something that large. Because you can't recreate a first look like that.
Nope.
The emotions are so like in the moment that you can't redo it.
No.
Nor I'm sure did they have time to redo it. And as a daughter too, if I had that missed, at our wedding, I would be devastated.
Yeah.
Devastated. I'm so sorry, guys, but my nose itches so bad right now.
So then the next question is it appropriate to bring props for marketing to a wedding?
No.
Well, I would say, if you bring business cards, I would say that's okay. But
that's not a prop.
But you bring, well, no, but I mean, like, if you bring something for marketing, we always carry business cards inside. There's an orange bag, but it's put away right now. But we just put them in there, and that's for us to connect with the other vendors.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the only thing.
And if it's towards the end of the night and it's the reception, and one of their guests comes up to us and asks if we have a business card,
yeah,
it's easy just to pull it out and hand it to them as long as we're not busy. That's easy too. But we're not gonna take time out of your wedding day to walk around and hand out business cards to everybody.
That's so foolish sometimes, dude.
Which I think it was a baptism or it was a quince that we did, and one of the vendors did walk around and hand everybody a business card. I don't remember which one it was.
It was a baptism.
Was it the baptism party that we did?
Yeah, it was a baptism.
And they walked around during the event and handed everybody business cards. And I told Vincent, we are never doing that. Ever.
No.
Which I think for that specific baptism, they told us if we wanted to bring business cards that we could, to set on a table like next to like our work, because they had framed photos that we'd had.
We will always bring business cards.
But we're not going to interrupt people.
But we're not going to hand them around or, try to get business there at the event, But if somebody asks for a business card, we'll give them a business card.
Correct. I'm so sorry. Can I grab a Diet Coke really quick?
Go for it.
BRB.
So, yeah. I mean, I've been wanting to get a hat, like a Snap Duo hat. But I kind of want to get away from hats because I've seen too many people approach their 30s who wore hats in their 20s, and their hairline is going further and further back.
My dad. Sorry, Dad.
I didn't say it, but yeah. I have a cousin who is the same. That's what happened to him. He had a head of hair, but he wore hats a lot, and his hair slowly went back and back and back and back.
I think that's Mike's case too.
So, but maybe
we love you, Dad. I'm so sorry.
Whatever.
Whatever.
All right, we ready for story number 2?
Oh, but since I was getting a Diet Coke and I couldn't speak on that, I think I would like a hat too. For like if we go on a hike.
Yeah.
Because we do so much of that.
I'd like to do more of it, but
get me on a good day. Okay, can I read the next one?
Yeah.
Are you reading them?
No, go for it.
Okay. Story number 2. I could go off on a million things that really gained my wedding.
I didn't get that part. When I put it in there, I didn't really get the part where she said really gained my wedding. I don't know.
Really gained my wedding because of my photographers, but I literally don't have family photos for my wedding because they took off on us to go get some cool and vibey photos during that time instead, and then just never took them later. I really love the photos they got, but I also don't have a photo of me in my wedding dress with my grandma, who died later that year, and I regret it so much.
What the hell are cool and vibey photos
that don't involve the bride and groom? Like the bride and groom are with their family, probably having to do iPhone family shots, I'm assuming.
So the question we have is, are we going to skip family photos to get, quote, cool and vibey shots.
Okay, so Vincent can attest for this. I go a little nuts during family photo time. I take family photo time very seriously.
Yeah, as you should.
Very seriously. I mean, we've had it to where we thought in the beginning, like, because we always go to the venues prior to the wedding day to plan things like family photos.
Mm-hmm.
And the spot that we had planned to do family photos at for a certain wedding, it ended up being horrible for lighting day of. So I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off, trying to figure out
This is very true and very accurate.
what the best spot is. Okay. And some people are like, Reese, why are you so stressed out? You need to be calm. Well, you only get these once. So
Right.
wow, my approach could have been a lot smoother.
A lot smoother.
I was stressed out because family photos are so damn important.
Yeah, because how it happened with that was that, I mean, I personally had thought that we were going to take them in that one spot under the, what's that called?
Yeah.
Under the thing.
Gazebo.
The gazebo. Gazebo.
But I didn't want to because we had just done the ceremony there. So I was like,
Yeah.
let's switch it up. But
Yeah.
then there was no other spot.
So then she had said, let's go to the front of the house. So everybody started to walk over there.
Multiple grandmas.
And then
grandpas.
we just got up there and there was nothing. One of the ways that you check is with your hand. You can see the shadows and stuff. It was too blinding. People with blue eyes, like myself, can't see in that kind of lighting.
It was horrible.
We're like this. It's difficult. And Reese, she wasn't happy with it. And she said, but it's too late to change. And I said, it's not too late to change.
I was stressed out. Even our assistant, April, she shot that wedding with us, looked at me and said, are you okay? And I'm like, no, get away from me.
I pulled her off to the side and I told her that you have to calm down. We can only get these photos once. Let's make sure that we do it right.
I think the reason I was so stressed out was because I didn't want to walk back and forth and have the family have to follow us back and forth, especially because there were grandparents. And before I figured out, so I was just running around trying to do it so that we could come up with like a set spot and then have everyone move, which we did.
Yeah,
Vincent's a gentleman. He also helped.
Yeah, so we made the decision to move everybody back from the front of the house to the gazebo. And I looked around and I saw if anybody was having a difficult time. Made eye contact with somebody who was having a difficult time. I went right up next to her. I put my arm out. She grabbed on, went on our merry way.
So that being said, that whole little story, family photos are so freaking important.
We will not skip.
No.
The family portraits to get some cool and vibey shots.
Honestly, I could give two craps about the surrounding areas or anything. Family photos.
So that's the next question. How important are family portraits at a wedding? I would say that they are probably the most important thing.
Besides like the ceremony.
Besides besides the ceremony, because that's something that will only happen once. After that, I would say, the family photos. Because
I 100% agree with you.
We were at an event a couple weeks ago, and the person who was talking, he had said that if you look around in the room, the people who are in this room together will most likely never be in the same room together again because of how difficult it is with conflicting schedules, people living in different states and different cities and stuff.
And also
and
age.
The same applies with family because you don't know. Like in this story, they said that the grandma died a year later. And that they never got those photos.
I'd be devastated.
So it's very important to get those photos because you never know when you're going to have the opportunity again.
I'm so angry at this. I'm so angry at it.
Yeah.
Family photos are so, so important, especially for people like moms and dads and grandparents.
Yeah.
Like if you're lucky enough to have your grandparent at your wedding, which is already huge, a lot of people don't have that opportunity. To not get a single photo with them.
Yeah. Yep.
I have a feeling that one's going to make me the most upset out of it.
All right. Well, are we ready to move on to story number 3?
Take it away.
Unfortunately, our wedding photographers took shots that were totally opposite of their galleries, and I was so disappointed. When I showed my sigh of disappointment, they were very rude, and to this day I cannot look at our wedding photos. And when I do, I immediately become angry. We don't have any of them framed or used anywhere God, I cannot see this right now. Anywhere, and it breaks my heart.
So I'm taking it as what they promote is not what they.
Well, that's the question that I have. Why do you think that their work was different from what they promoted? I got 2 theories here.
I would say
that was a lot of silence we just did.
Sorry, I'm thinking in my head.
Yeah.
I would say maybe they don't know how to deal with different lighting.
I don't know. Not that one.
No.
At least for me.
Okay, can you go then?
So
I'm a little dumbstruck on it.
My 2 things are that the photos that they promoted, maybe they personally edited them. Okay. But because they had booked so many weddings, maybe they were behind, and so they'd send them off to a third-party editor. And then that third-party editor obviously doesn't know how to edit the same way that photographer was promoting. And so I think that's one of the reasons.
Or they started getting bookings and couldn't keep up with the demand of it.
Yeah.
Started getting lazy with their editing.
Don't get lazy.
That's what I would assume, right?
Yeah. I mean,
I feel horrible for this bride and groom. I
Yeah.
think that photo and video is one of the biggest
right,
investments.
that's one of the big things, and we've talked about it before about hanging the photos up around the house, is that, and I think we've talked about it on a previous episode, but during, like, if there's ever a house fire or something like that, or an emergency, some of the first things that the people grab are their wedding photos that are framed on the wall.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, absolutely. I would be devastated.
So to not be able to put the photos on the wall because you just can't imagine to think about them, it sucks.
I wonder if they ever spoke to them about. Oh, they did, huh? They were rude.
Maybe.
I don't know. I feel like. Okay, this might be an unpopular opinion. I feel like we take weddings so incredibly seriously.
Yeah.
Because we understand the fact that for most people it only happens once.
Yeah.
And it's the most important day of their lives.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe second to children. I don't think all photographers take it that seriously. I think they see it as a paycheck.
I think they do. And those photographers need to get out. And they need to leave. And they need to get out of the business.
And I think some of those photographers might be the hobby ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
like, this is our whole lives. So we like literally put our entire heart and brain and time into weddings.
Yeah.
But I just think that some people don't see it as important, and then you get stuck with situations like this where they bombed the situation.
It's terrible.
All right, are you ready? Can I read the next one?
Go for it.
I have the worst horror story.
Uh-oh.
We fired our wedding photographer halfway through the day. He was a major jerk. We simply asked him to give us the ideas on poses, and he refused. Also made us feel uncomfortable and said the weirdest comments and jokes about our wedding group. Now, every time I look at the few pics we have, I remember the whole thing and regret hiring him. If only we knew.
The question that we have is, how important are poses at a wedding?
It's your job.
They're pretty damn important.
It's your whole job.
Wedding or not, if you're a photographer or a videographer, being able to pose or set your clients up to be able to get a good shot is very important. Or else you're just going to be standing there just, hello.
Hello.
I'm ready for my picture now. Thank you.
I can't also imagine just being so, like, not personable in the job that we have, or making people uncomfortable.
Right, and I think that is back to the last story. They were talking about the work and how the photographer what did you say, act like a jerk? I know that was this story.
This one.
That was this story.
Like
right here it was at this point. They were very rude. The photographer's rude.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like what you said earlier about how a hobbyist, and they do it for the money. Not all hobbyists, okay,
Yeah.
but the people who look at it not as capturing love, but capturing a paycheck. Those people are the worst people to hire because there is no emotion behind it. They look at it as just doing a job, not capturing, your day.
Yeah. And I feel like we've worked with a lot of wedding professionals. We haven't come across anybody like that yet, I don't think.
Who's been a jerk?
Yeah. I mean, at a quince once. But overall, I feel like we get pretty lucky with who we work with.
We've had instances where maybe maybe a DJ wasn't as friendly as we wanted them to be. Whereas
I knew exactly what you're talking about.
Whereas other times
we've had also really great experiences with DJs though.
We met this one DJ at the wedding that we did in December. He was absolutely fantastic, super helpful, just a great guy. Definitely a DJ that we would definitely consider for our wedding. He was around the same age.
Yeah,
we
have him
awesome.
on social.
He's awesome.
No, I feel like, but that's with everybody. One thing we don't really deal with is florists. We don't see them because they usually come before the wedding. Planners, they're all good. We have a favorite.
Yeah.
Celestial Weddings and Events. And I think overall we have like pretty good. We have a good experience.
I think maybe, and when we go to a wedding, we always have a smile on our face. We're always, I feel, approachable.
It doesn't matter what we're going through that day. We are going to be happy and
like even if we're having difficulty with maybe a little piece of our gear or something, or maybe I just hurt my foot or something, and somebody came up to us, still gonna have a smile on our face and still gonna do matter. The best that we possibly can.
The wedding that we did in December, I got a migraine halfway through the day, which to me,
migraines are a no.
To me,
that's on a wedding day,
the worst possibility ever. But if you ask our bride and groom if I had a migraine, they had no idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Vincent did because I cried to him about it a couple times. Not physically cried, but I whined about it. But anybody who saw us working would have never known that I was dying on the inside.
Right.
But it's all that just shows, though, it's about being a professional in the workplace.
Yeah.
We go through our own things, and we have, equipment that's not working, or
I said we're human.
Yeah, we're human, but we're professionals, and you will never know that we're going through something, or one of us has a hurt ankle or a migraine the day of, because that's just not acceptable.
I feel like, and we haven't gone through it, and I am hoping that we'll never go through it, is stomach issues. How do you do that one now? Imagine that.
There is another one I want to mention.
Don't eat sketchy food before a wedding.
Amen.
At least 2 days.
Okay, but what if you are eating your vendor meal at the reception and it hits you just like right away?
We've had instances like that where we've eaten certain food. We've eaten at Chipotle and we
got
went
sick
to Target
immediately.
And
but like, what about the vendor meal? What are you gonna do? We've been working for at least 5 hours. Let's pray it never happens.
I don't know. That's difficult.
Another thing, I don't know if you remember this, Vincent. Tell me if you do or not. We had a client that we talked to, and she said that she just fired her photographer for her wedding because she was acting a little sketchy about like money and things like that. And then also she it wasn't about money. It was about returning their engagement photos, like the turnaround time. And then she went on a rampage and told the client how hard of a life she's having. And remember that?
Mm-hmm.
She's telling her that she's having issues with her kids and she's having issues with her family and blah, 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 blah. And the bride was like, why do I need to know this?
It's, yeah.
And she ended up firing her. And I think she went with us. I'm trying to think. But don't tell your clients about your whole life story unless they ask.
There's a difference between being personable and professional. Okay? And we do both. We'll be personable.
Oh yeah.
But we'll also be professional at the same time.
We have plenty of clients that we consider friends now.
Yeah.
But let it get there first.
Right.
Let your relationship build to that. I mean, Haley and Steven, we've shot with them since we launched, and now we consider them friends.
Yeah, we went to a rodeo
with them. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I gotta fix this light.
But the first shoot that we ever had with them, we weren't gonna sit there and talk to them about. I don't even know. Just keep it professional. Be personable.
Build on that relationship.
But don't trauma dump on your client. Because I can promise you, your clients don't want to hear it. They may trauma dump on you, but they hired you. So you let them do that.
They hired a photographer, not a drama dumper.
Yeah, they don't want you to drama dump to them.
So, okay, back to the thing then.
Sorry.
No, you're good. For our next question is, what do we want our clients to feel when they look at their photos or wedding film?
Exactly what we get told that they feel.
We want them to feel
sobbing. We want you to sob uncontrollably.
To feel love, the love in the photos and the wedding film, the emotion. That's our job, is to catch the emotion and to capture the emotion.
I think you'll agree with me on this one. I want them to look at the photo and video and feel like they're back in that day.
Yeah.
Like they just feel the outpouring love that they felt for each other on that day all over again.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why having videography is so important at your wedding.
Yeah.
Because photos can do beautiful things. They can make you
you
feel all the feelings, but video.
And we've said it before that you can have a photo and a photo freezes
time.
That only time ever in history, that moment. Whereas video, you can watch how that was going, how that specific photo was going.
You could see it through somebody else's eyes.
You could press play on that photo, essentially.
Which is so cool.
Yeah.
We actually had a elopement that we did a couple years ago, and there was a medical emergency at the elopement. And when it came time to deliver the photos and videos, the bride said, the groom has trouble remembering a lot of the day. And so you giving us this video means the absolute world to us.
They loved it. Absolutely loved it. That was our first, yeah.
So it was like hearing things like that is why we do what we do.
Yeah.
We want you to feel the love that you felt on that day. We want you to look back on all of the memories with your family during family photos.
And remember how great the photographer and videographers were, and we weren't jerks.
We're not jerks.
We've
never been jerks. Maybe to each other.
To each other, yeah.
If you haven't fed me, if I'm hangry.
We bring snacks. And we bring drinks.
Diet Coke all day.
Liquid IV.
Okay, that's really what we bring. I'll drink a large Diet Coke on the way there, though.
So, just, I'm happy that we haven't had any experiences like this so far, and hopefully we never will.
Professionalism, communication,
and
good attitudes.
Love what you do.
I would also like to mention, I saw this a while ago, and it's really stuck with me, is I think that we are best suited and best fit for the job that we do when it comes to weddings and engagements and couples, because we're also in love. So if you have two people that are in love capturing your love, I can tell you right now.
Still in love.
I can tell you right now
that
you're gonna get the best types of poses. We're gonna be happy to do it. We love capturing love, and the fact that we love love, and we're the duo. We're always together, and you always get both of us.
We're the dose.
Correct.
Snap dose.
Yeah. Sure. 2.
Snap 2.
Snap 2. We love our clients, and we love what we do, and we promise to never show up an hour late to your wedding or take cool and vibey photos instead of your family.
Or bring a $5 hat to wreck your professionally done hair.
Ooh, I'd be so mad.
No.
I go, wow.
We won't do that. Now, we've seen cool things where the photographer, or not the photographer, but the bride and the groom, they'll actually have the glasses, and it'll say hashtag and their last name. And they'll actually have the photographer take photos of their guests with the glasses on, and then they put them all together. It makes for a really cool video. But that's if the bride and the groom does it. You're not going to go around and put Snap Duo glasses on everyone and get pictures. It's foolish. I don't understand some things, but,
Always remember, if you're a photographer and a videographer, that day is not about you.
Oh, ma'am.
It's not about you. It's not about your business. Nobody's there about you because of you. Nobody cares about you. It's about the bride and the groom.
Yeah.
So keep that hat in the trunk of your car. Thank you and have a good day. Boom.
Well, that is actually it with all of our stories. Do you have any other questions? Or anything in general?
We should do this more often.
What?
I love the horror stories. It gets me pumped.
I know we have like the lists of episodes and stuff that we've had planned. But I was looking over them this morning and I was like, you know what? Let's do a horror episode. We haven't done a horror episode.
We used to do Snapped.
We used to do Snapped last season, but then I kind of didn't like that every episode it almost ended on like a bad note about videographers.
Good point. Yeah.
And so that's why we kind of got rid of it. But, now we're doing just this episode.
Okay. Well, can I ask you the question of the day?
Uh-oh.
What is your biggest, fear when it comes to doing a wedding or video? Making it a horror story. So this could be something that happens to you during the wedding, something that's said to us, a nightmare client. What is your ultimate biggest fear at a wedding?
I think getting the SD cards stolen from us.
Oh, so this is not at the wedding, or it could be at the wedding.
No, it could be at the wedding. I would say that. I think we talked about it on a previous episode. We did a wedding up in Sacramento, and you see this stuff about Sacramento on the news. You just don't know, okay? So
more San Francisco.
Did I say? Yeah, no, San Francisco. You've seen this stuff about San Francisco on the news, and so you just don't know. We haven't been up there in a long time, so it kind of sketched me out that we were going there after we went to Sacramento, and so we made sure 100% that we brought all of our hard drives. We copied all of the footage onto the hard drives, and then we carried that hard drive on us at all times.
On our person.
Yes, so that if something happened at the hotel and somebody stole everything, at least we would still have those photos and videos.
Yeah.
I would say that we can get the cameras back, but we can never get the photos and videos back. And I think that's what scares me the most.
It's a really good answer.
Yeah.
It's actually terrifying. I've actually also thought...
What more terrifying could happen as a photographer or videographer?
I've actually also thought about the possibility... I'm terrified of fire. Terrified of things like catching on fire. We have multiple copies. We have the RSD cards, but then we have hard drives. I've even gone as far to think about... Because we have a storage unit for some of our props and stuff. Putting a hard drive... with our weddings in the storage unit as well. So if anything ever happened, we could be like, well, it's okay because we have a hard drive with that wedding in the storage unit that's not here.
Well, yeah, I guess
paranoid, yes, but I think
that's
it's
true, but they
idea.
actually have burn boxes where they're fireproof.
Well, I'm just saying we don't have to buy a burn box. We can just put something in the storage unit.
I guess it's true.
That's how
I think I'm more afraid of water than I am fire, though. Because I feel like with water, it's
more plausible that something will fall in water than our house catching on fire. But
yeah,
my head just goes to fire.
Electronics and water don't mix.
My grandpa's house burnt down 10 years ago in the Montecito fires in Santa Barbara. And so now I'm just... Since then, my mom and I both have just been so, terrified of things catching on fire.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that, It
scares me.
That's a good one too, but they're similar. It's about
I was adding on to yours.
No, oh okay.
Yeah,
okay,
I was just adding on with the
Yeah.
SD cards.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
It's terrifying, but make sure you back your stuff up and you have your stuff, close to you.
Yeah.
I guess.
Or in a storage unit.
It's the only thing that you can say. Have a storage unit 7 miles away or whatever, and there's the photos and video just chilling out in there.
It'd probably get cold.
It does. It makes sense. I mean, I'll give it. It makes sense.
Thank you. Reese has a good idea, everybody.
Anything else you want to talk about before we wrap it up? We're going on here about It's about 35-ish minutes.
Happy Easter. I think that's this weekend.
Happy Easter. Yes, happy Easter. We went and took the kids to the mall the other day to go see the bunny.
Not our kids.
Not our kids, but
our
my
niece
sister's kids.
and nephews.
Yeah, and 2 of them, the littlest ones, they liked the bunny. They didn't care.
They didn't mind.
The oldest one with the rider, whew, he was excited to see the bunny, but
he was so excited.
He got up to the bunny and he was not happy with the bunny. No. He was very scared, and it made for really good photos.
But Phoenix and Leo did great.
Oh yeah, they did great. They loved it.
Happy Easter. Oh, and also happy 6 months to Sebastian, our other nephew.
Sebastian.
We did his 6-month photos yesterday.
Yeah.
And so you might see some of those on our story.
Yeah.
In the next couple days.
But I think that's it for now, right?
I think that is it.
That is it.
I think I need to eat.
If you've made it this far, we love you. We appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
And
if you want a Snap Duo hat, just let me know. I'll get you one.
You want a Snap Duo hat? We'll order you a Snap Duo hat right now. We'll order it for you. So with that, we thank you for watching. We appreciate you if you've made it this far. If you are not already subscribed to, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified when we release a new episode or wedding film. And if you're not following us on Spotify, make sure you do that. Just follow our page, and then you also get notified as well. And
Instagram.
There you go.
Follow us at SNAPPDUO, Snap Duo, to see all of our sessions that we do, all the behind the scenes, see what we're up to, and just stay relevant.
Yes, sir. With that, thank you for watching. We will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.